Today's story is about a cursed and terrifying island where trees eat human flesh, frogs fly through the sky, and massive monsters rule the land. A group of tourists accidentally ends up on that island and gets trapped. What happens to them next will make your blood run cold. Can they survive and make it back alive from that horrifying island? So without wasting any more time, let's dive into the 2023 adventure survival movie Snack Cave. Right at the beginning of the movie, we see a massive ship. Many people were traveling on this ship heading toward their destinations. On one side of the ship, a little girl named Amy was standing with a very sad face. Seeing his daughter upset, her father Gong comes over and gifts her a radio to cheer her up. Getting this surprise gift makes Amy a little happy. But right at that moment, everyone on the ship witnesses a strange sight in the middle of the ocean. All the fish in the sea are running around frantically in every direction. Actually, the fish were fleeing in terror from a massive monster. That monster was rapidly approaching the ship. A red danger alarm goes off inside the ship, and everyone from the captain down gets extremely scared. Before anyone can understand what's happening, the monster slams into the ship with tremendous force. The entire ship flips over and all the people start drowning. In the next scene, we see Gong lying unconscious on the shore. A man comes and wakes him up. Gong looks around and sees many other people lying on the shore just like him, but he can't find his beloved daughter Amy anywhere. Not finding Amy drives him crazy, and he starts screaming and crying. Right at that moment, Amy's voice comes through the radio Gong was carrying. Gong sees a glimmer of hope, but suddenly the radio goes silent again. He realizes he's not alone in this place. Many more people are stranded on the other side of the river. The people on the opposite bank were trying to signal something to Gong, and that's when Gong looks across and sees his daughter Amy standing there. Seeing his daughter on the other side, Gong desperately tries to reach her. He attempts to cross over, but one of his friends grabs him and holds him back. The friend points toward a spot in the forest, and everyone watches as a massive snake emerges from inside the forest. The snake was so enormous in size that everyone was absolutely stunned. The snake starts striking people with its tail and swallows several of them whole. Gong watches helplessly as the giant snake swallows his daughter Amy too and disappears into the forest. Losing his beloved daughter right before his eyes leaves Gong completely shattered. But right then, Amy's voice comes through the radio again. Gong realizes his daughter is still alive. She's inside the snake's belly, still breathing. Gong decides that no matter what, he will go into the forest and bring his daughter back alive. The local people warn him that going into that forest is extremely dangerous, but Gong doesn't listen to anyone. Seeing his determination, 5 more people volunteer to go into the jungle. These 6 people together start entering the forest. Meanwhile, one of the survivors left behind tries to call a rescue team, but there was no network inside the forest. Shortly after entering the forest, they get terrified because one of their companions suddenly goes missing. Before anyone can figure out what happened, a strange vine comes and drags another person away. When the rest start running in fear, the snake uses its tongue to pull another person away. Just like that, they find themselves in extreme danger deep inside the forest. The scene inside the forest was even more horrifying. The massive snake returns to its den. It spits out all the people it had swallowed and dumps them onto the ground. Then the snake leaves again in search of new prey. After a while, the ship's captain regains consciousness. He opens his eyes and sees they're trapped in a strange place right in the middle of the forest. Huge trees and vines surround them everywhere. There's no way out. The captain realizes this is the snake's nest. Without panicking, he bravely wakes up the others one by one. Everyone's body was extremely weak, but then the captain notices Gong's daughter Amy. Luckily, Amy was still alive and she also regains consciousness. While everyone was searching for an escape route, they discover many large eggs in one area. These were the eggs of that monstrous snake. When the captain curiously reaches out to touch one egg, Amy screams and stops him. Amy says these eggs could hatch at any moment and baby snakes could come out. Hearing Amy's warning, everyone gets very scared. But there was a stubborn old man in the group. He thought if they break the eggs now, the baby snakes would die inside. Ignoring everyone's advice, he picks up a big rock and hurls it at one of the eggs. The egg breaks open all right. But instead of dying, the baby snake comes out alive. Seeing this, the ground beneath everyone's feet seems to disappear. They realize they've stepped into a death trap. Everyone hurriedly hides behind a large rock. The baby snake comes out of the egg and immediately starts searching for food. Right at that moment, a paralyzed woman was lying there. She couldn't move and was screaming for help. The baby snake goes straight to her and swallows her alive. Watching this scene, the people hiding behind the rock tremble with fear. They understand that if they can't get out of here, the same cruel death awaits them all. On the other side, Gong and his team were still stuck in a mysterious part of the jungle. After walking for a long time, everyone gets extremely exhausted and sits down to rest for a while. A team member named Eden starts cutting a tree in the forest. As soon as the tree is cut, a strange black sticky liquid starts oozing out from inside. Right at that moment, another team member lights a match there. Accidentally, the burning match falls onto that black liquid, and instantly a blazing fire erupts. Eden quickly puts out the fire with a fire extinguisher he had. The fire goes out, but the burnt black liquid creates a toxic smoke. That poisonous smoke gives Gong a severe headache, and everything in front of his eyes goes blurry. Gong suddenly starts seeing strange visions. He sees his companions all laughing at him together. Then he sees the massive monster snake charging toward him. And right at that moment, his daughter Amy appears and says, "Dad, why didn't you save me?" The snake wraps around Amy and is about to eat her. Right then, Eden splashes water hard on Gong's face. Gong snaps out of it and realizes it was actually a terrifying hallucination. The black liquid was releasing a toxic gas that shuts down the human brain. Gong and Eden look back and see that their remaining companions can't move at all. The mysterious trees have wrapped their branches tightly around everyone. These were no ordinary trees. They were man-eating trees that strangle and kill humans. Gong uses every ounce of his strength to try saving everyone and screams at them to run from there. Meanwhile, inside the snake's nest, a terrible situation was unfolding. The ship's captain and the stubborn old man start a fierce argument. The old man blames everything on the captain, saying if the captain had brought the ship to shore in time, they wouldn't be in this situation today. Seeing their fight, a girl named Sushi steps in between them and stops them. She explains to everyone that if they fight among themselves now, that massive snake will swallow them all alive. She reminds everyone that this is not the time for fighting. Instead, they need to plan how to escape from here alive. In this part of the story, we see Gong in the middle of the jungle, repeatedly trying to contact his daughter through that small radio. But there was no network in that dense jungle. One team member goes a little further to fill water from a river. While filling water, he hears a strange sound from inside the jungle. Suddenly, the entire jungle gets covered in a thick fog. From the middle of that fog, a monstrous fish suddenly attacks them. The fish had huge razor-sharp teeth. Even though the man pushes the fish away in fear, he sees a swarm of flying fish charging toward them from inside the fog. The astonishing thing was that these fish didn't just stay in water. They could actually fly through the air using the fog. Everyone starts running for their lives. Eden notices that these fish can only survive inside the fog. So he leads everyone to a spot where there was absolutely no fog. Without the fog, the fish fall to the ground, and they're saved this time. While everyone was sitting and resting in one spot, Eden notices massive animal footprints on the ground. Looking up, they see something strange stuck in the tree branches. One curious man was about to throw a stone at it when the old man stops him. But right at that moment, a long tongue shoots down from the tree and pulls the man up. A massive, monstrous frog drops down from above. The frog was so enormous that killing it seemed impossible. The frog wraps its long tongue around the old man and tries to eat him. Everyone grabs the old man and pulls hard, trying to keep the frog from swallowing him. What happens next is enough to make everyone's heart stop. One man takes a knife and stabs the frog's tongue hard, but a poisonous liquid from the tongue splashes directly onto his face, burning it severely. Right at that moment, Eden hurls a sharp weapon and blinds one of the frog's eyes. Writhing in pain, the frog releases the old man, but before they can escape, something even more terrifying happens. The massive monster snake suddenly appears and swallows the entire frog in one bite. While the snake was tearing the frog apart, the sight was absolutely horrifying. But the danger didn't end there, because now the snake's eyes fall on Gong and his team. It starts chasing them. They somehow manage to run and try to save themselves. While the massive snake was chasing them, Gong and everyone in his team were running like madmen to save their lives. The old man and a young boy couldn't run very fast because of their injuries. At one point, both of them trip and fall to the ground. Just when the snake was about to swallow them, something extraordinary happens. Because of its enormous size, the snake gets stuck between several thick trees in the dense jungle. Taking this opportunity, one of their friends throws a coconut at the snake to divert its attention. The moment the snake gets distracted by the coconut, the old man and the boy get a chance to escape. The snake gets even more furious and starts searching for everyone again. The remaining 4 friends were hiding behind different trees, but luck wasn't on their side. The snake spots one of them. The man, trembling with fear, joins his hands in front of the snake and begs for mercy. He kept saying, "Please don't eat him," but the monstrous snake showed no mercy. It killed the man right there. When the snake starts searching for the rest, Gong and his companions run and jump into a small nearby river. By staying underwater, the snake can't see them properly. After searching for a while, the snake leaves and Gong and his companions survive once again. On the other side, inside the snake's nest, the old man was searching for a way out all by himself, but despite repeated attempts, he couldn't find one. Suddenly, the entire area shakes as the massive snake returns to its nest. It had brought the bodies of the 2 people it had just killed. Upon returning, the snake notices its dead baby. Seeing its baby like this drives the snake into a terrifying rage. It realizes someone entered its den and did this. After the big snake leaves again, the remaining eggs inside the nest start hatching one by one. Poisonous baby snakes start emerging from every egg. Everyone moves away in fear, but Amy was too scared to move from her spot. One baby snake comes right up to Amy's face. In her fear, Amy places her hand on the baby snake's head. Amazingly, the snake doesn't harm Amy at all. Actually, Amy knew that when a baby snake is born and doesn't see its mother first, it considers whoever it sees first as its mother. So the baby snake starts thinking of Amy as its mother. But right then, another baby snake attacks and kills another person from the group. Taking this opportunity, the selfish old man abandons everyone in danger and escapes on his own. While walking through the jungle, Gong and his companions face yet another terrifying encounter. Deep in the forest, they find an old and broken down building. It looked like nobody had lived there for many years. They all enter the building together. Inside, they find many chemical bottles and laboratory equipment. On the walls, pictures of animals and birds were hung, but their bodies looked abnormally large and strange. Gong and Eden realized this was actually a laboratory where experiments were conducted on animals and birds. Many years ago, a team of scientists used various chemicals on the island's wildlife to see what would happen. Because of those experiments, the snakes, frogs, and fish on this island have become massive monsters today. They understand that these monsters were created because of human mistakes. And now these creatures have become the rulers of this island. In one corner of the building, they find an old radio. Eden was trying to fix it so they could contact the outside world or any rescue team. But since the radio was very old, it wasn't getting a proper signal. While they were working on the radio, footsteps could be heard outside the building. Everyone hides in fear. After a while, they discover that the person is none other than the man who had escaped alone from the snake's nest, leaving everyone behind. Gong rushes forward and grabs the man. He immediately asks about his daughter Amy, but the man tells a terrible lie to hide his guilt and scare everyone. He says that everyone in the snake's nest is dead, and the monster snake ate them all. Hearing about Amy's death, Gong turns to stone. He can't believe his daughter is gone. He wants to run into the forest like a madman, but his companions somehow hold him back. The next morning, Gong was sitting on a rock with a heavy heart. Suddenly, the sound of a helicopter reaches his ears from the distance. Gong runs and calls everyone. They go to an open spot in the forest and wave their hands trying to get the helicopter's attention, but their luck was bad. Because the jungle was so dense, the helicopter couldn't see them and flies away. Just when Gong was sitting heartbroken again, the old radio suddenly starts making crackling sounds. Gong puts his ear close and hears Amy's voice coming through. Amy was calling him for help. Gong's joy knows no bounds. He screams and tells everyone that his daughter is still alive, but the selfish old man gets scared that his lie will now be exposed. He insults Gong in front of everyone, calling him crazy, and says nobody can ever come back alive from a snake's belly. But right at that moment, voices come through the radio loud and clear. Now everyone believes that the people in the snake's nest are still alive and waiting for help. Seeing this, the old man runs away alone into the deep forest out of fear. He knew that if his lie gets exposed, everyone would punish him. Gong doesn't waste another moment and heads into the forest to find Amy. Only one thought was running through his mind. He must find his daughter no matter what. He tries to make contact again through the radio. From the other side, the girl named Sushi responds. Sushi tells him they're trapped inside a massive cave deep in the forest. Gong asks if they can hear any particular sound around them. Sushi replies that they can hear the sound of water dripping inside the cave. Gong understands he needs to follow that sound to find them. He pushes through the bushes and walks quickly toward the sound of water. Meanwhile, the situation inside the cave wasn't good at all. Hundreds of small, poisonous snakes surround the people from every side. The snakes were raising their hoods and lunging at them to bite. Everyone huddles together in fear. Right then, the baby snake that considered Amy its mother steps forward. It starts fighting the other snakes, biting them and pushing them away. The baby snake was actually trying to protect Amy. Everyone is amazed by its strange behavior toward Amy. It was because of this little baby snake that they're saved from the bigger snake's bites this time. Gong eventually reaches the very top of the cave. He shouts Amy's name from above. Hearing her father's voice, Amy responds from below. Gong sees the cave is very deep and climbing down is quite difficult. Using his brain, he finds a large tree nearby with long, strong roots and drops them down into the cave. Gong tells Sushi and the others to hold the roots tightly. He starts pulling everyone up one by one. First, a few people climb up. Even though Gong's body was extremely exhausted, he refuses to give up. Right at that time, a strange sound comes from inside the forest. From that sound, it was clear the massive monster snake had come very close. All the forest animals start fleeing in every direction out of fear. Gong realizes he has absolutely no time left. He pulls the roots as fast as he can, trying to get everyone up. Amy was still down below. Deep fear was working in Gong's heart that if the snake comes right now, everything will be over. He calls Eden to help him. Eden and Gong start pulling the roots together with all their might so everyone can be brought up quickly. Inside the cave, the baby snake was still holding off all the other snakes. Gong kept shouting encouragement from above so nobody would panic. They knew that if they could just get up, at least they would be free from this dark cave. But they didn't know that the real danger of this jungle was standing right in front of them. The snake was smashing through trees and heading straight toward them. Just as everyone was climbing up through the cave's mouth holding onto the roots, the massive monster snake arrives. Having lost its baby, the snake was in a terrible rage. It charges directly at the humans. Gong was still pulling from above. Down below, Amy, the captain, and a few others were still remaining. Seeing the danger, Eden bravely steps forward. He strikes the snake's eye with his axe. The snake's eye bursts and it starts writhing in pain. But instead of stopping, the snake goes after Eden. Right at that moment, another friend runs in and strikes the snake's second eye too, making it completely blind. After going blind, the snake can't see anyone anymore and starts wildly thrashing its tail everywhere. From above, Gong keeps screaming at everyone to hurry up. Amy was climbing up holding the roots, but from below, the small poisonous snakes were lunging at her, trying to grab her. Right at that moment, the ship's captain makes a huge decision. He understands that if he doesn't push everyone up, nobody will survive. Without caring about his own life, the captain pushes Amy and the others upward with all his strength. As everyone makes it to the top, the small snakes pounce on the captain and kill him right there. Just like that, the captain gives his own life to save everyone else. Gong finally pulls Amy close and holds her tightly in his arms. But they had absolutely no time, because even though the snake was blind, it was using its sense of smell to track their location and charging toward them again. Everyone starts running toward the other side of the forest. Eden warns everyone not to look back under any circumstances. Running and running, they reach a dark section of the forest. They didn't know if an even bigger danger was waiting ahead. Now let's talk about that selfish old man. He had abandoned everyone in danger and escaped alone, searching for a way out of the jungle. But his luck was terrible. While running, he didn't even notice which direction he was going. Suddenly his foot slips and he falls straight into the snake's nest pit, the very place he had just escaped from. Inside the nest, many hungry baby snakes were roaming around. Despite his desperate attempts to get out, the baby snakes surround him from all sides and tear him apart right there. That's how he meets his horrifying death. Now we see Gong and his companions fleeing through the forest to save their lives. But Eden realizes that if they all stay together, the snake will easily find them by smelling their combined scent. So he cleverly tells everyone to split up and go in different directions. Eden decides that he himself will divert the monster snake's attention so that Gong and Amy can escape safely. Gong didn't want to agree at first, but to save Amy there was no other way. So he starts running in the opposite direction with Amy. The entire jungle was covered in a terrifying silence where death lurked at every step. Eden and another companion stay behind to keep the snake's attention on themselves. They decide in their hearts that they won't let this monster snake go easily. Eden knew that even though the snake was blind, its sense of smell was incredibly sharp. So he shouts loudly to draw the snake's attention toward himself. The snake charges furiously toward Eden. Eden seizes the opportunity, climbs onto the snake's body, and tries to cut it from the middle with his weapon. But the snake was so powerful that Eden's attacks barely did anything. Instead, the snake shakes its body and throws Eden to the ground. Eden realizes it's impossible to defeat this monster in a direct fight. So he signals his companion to run toward the spot where they had seen that poisonous black liquid. They both try to lure the snake near those trees that were oozing the toxic black liquid, but this massive snake was extremely clever. It senses something dangerous or a trap ahead and stops midway, then suddenly turns the other direction. Eden and his companion watch in shock as the snake heads not toward them, but toward Gong and Amy. Eden realizes the snake has picked up Gong and Amy's scent and is now chasing them. He screams, trying to warn Gong, but Gong was too far away to hear anything. Meanwhile, Gong had reached a seemingly safe spot in the forest with Amy. Another companion was with him. A restless feeling was eating at Gong's heart. He was thinking that Eden and his friend might be in serious danger. He tells Amy to quickly leave the forest with the companion, because he must go help Eden now. Amy didn't want to let go of her father's hand, but Gong explains and sends her off. While Amy and the companion were heading toward the other side of the forest, Gong starts running in the opposite direction to find Eden. After going some distance, Gong suddenly hears Eden's voice. Eden was screaming from far away, telling him to run and save Amy instead. Eden shouts, "The snake isn't coming toward us. It's chasing your daughter." The moment Gong hears this, his hands and feet go ice cold. Without thinking anything, he starts running back the way he came. Running desperately, he stops dead in his tracks at one spot. He sees Amy and the companion standing a little distance away, but right behind them, the terrifying monster snake was standing absolutely still with its massive hood raised. Gong was about to scream at Amy to move, but right at that moment, the snake opens its enormous mouth and swallows Amy whole in an instant. Before Gong can even blink, everything is over. Watching his daughter's fate right before his eyes, a raging fire of anger erupts inside Gong. Without any fear, he decides to charge straight at the snake. Seeing Amy disappear into the snake's belly drives Gong completely insane. At that moment, he had no fear for his own life. He pounces on the snake with a sharp weapon and starts slashing wherever he can reach on the snake's body. Only one thought was in his mind: cut open the snake's belly and pull Amy out. But against this colossal monster, Gong's strength was far too little. The snake delivers a devastating blow with its body, sending Gong flying far away. Gong was writhing on the ground in pain, while the snake was coming to swallow him. Right at that moment, Eden arrives on the scene. Eden already knew that brute force alone couldn't defeat this snake. He had cleverly prepared a torch beforehand. Eden lights the torch and stands right in front of the snake, shouting loudly. The blind snake senses the heat of the fire in Eden's voice and turns away from Gong toward Eden. Eden forces the snake to chase him. He sprints to the section of the forest where the trees were oozing that poisonous black liquid. That entire area had filled up with toxic gas by now. Eden runs straight into the middle of that liquid. The snake, blind with rage, was right behind him. The moment the snake gets close enough, Eden hurls the burning torch onto the poisonous liquid. Instantly, a devastating explosion occurs and flames erupt everywhere. The entire area transforms into a ring of fire. The snake gets trapped inside the inferno and starts burning to ashes, writhing in agony. Despite all its efforts, the snake cannot escape the wall of flames. The fire spreads so quickly that even Eden can't find a way out. Gong, watching from a distance, screams, desperately trying to save Eden, but the intense heat prevents him from getting anywhere close. The snake eventually goes completely lifeless, burnt to nothing in the fire. After some time, when the fire dies down a bit, Gong and his remaining companions rush to the dead snake. They all grab the snake's mouth and force it wide open. They reach inside with their hands, searching for Amy. Gong uses every last bit of his strength to pull Amy out from the snake's belly, but Amy was lying completely still. Her body was ice cold and she wasn't moving at all. Gong holds Amy in his arms and starts crying and screaming. He keeps trying to wake her up. Everyone thought Amy was no longer alive. After the snake burns completely to ash, the entire jungle suddenly falls eerily silent. Only smoke and the smell of burning lingered everywhere. Gong sits like a stone next to his motionless daughter. The heat from the fire had badly burned parts of Gong's own body, but seeing his daughter like this, he completely forgets about his own pain. Gong holds Amy with both hands and keeps calling her name over and over. He places his hand on Amy's forehead, but her body was still ice cold. Gong's remaining companions come and stand there too. Losing Eden and seeing Amy like this brings tears to everyone's eyes. They couldn't find any words to comfort Gong. Everyone had silently accepted that Amy was no longer in this world. Gong keeps looking up at the sky through his tears, asking why this happened to him. He holds Amy close to his chest and whispers, "Baby, open your eyes. I'm gonna take you home." Gong's cries make the entire forest atmosphere feel heavy. His companions were telling him they need to get out of there quickly because another danger could come at any time. But Gong refused to move even a single step without his daughter. He gently touches Amy's cheek, still trying to wake her up. But right at that moment, something miraculous happens. Amy's chest suddenly trembles slightly, and she lets out a loud cough. Gong looks at Amy's face in shock and sees her eyelids slowly moving. Moments later, Amy opens her eyes. Hearing his daughter's voice, Gong feels like life has been breathed into him all over again. He holds Amy tightly and starts laughing. The rest of the companions are overjoyed seeing this. They realize Eden's sacrifice did not go in vain. Amy has survived after all. Gong lifts Amy into his arms, and everyone together takes the path out of the jungle. While walking through the forest, they remember all those brave friends who lost their lives on this dangerous journey. It's because of the captain's and Eden's courage that they're walking out of this jungle alive today. The moment they step outside the forest, they see rescue team members searching for them in the distance. Gong realizes all their dangers have finally come to an end. Amy rests her head on her father's shoulder and peacefully falls asleep. They all move forward together toward a new life. And just like that, this mysterious and terrifying story comes to an end. Guys, let me know in the comments how you liked today's thrilling story. That's all for today. See you again with another amazing movie story. Until then, stay well.